Hello, my name is Christine Hanlon and I am the Monmouth County Clerk. The role of the County Clerk that I'm honored to serve in dates back hundreds of years. It actually evolved from medieval times when few people could read or write. Clericus, or clerks, as they were later called, were people who could write and were called upon to write and maintain the records relating to the transfer of property from one person to another. The role of the county clerk was written into the New Jersey State Constitution of 1776, and it outlined the clerk's function as the keeper of the records for each county. This function as the keeper of the records continues to this day, hundreds of years later, and I'm responsible for maintaining and preserving millions of property and government records. As county clerk, I serve also as the clerk of elections for Monmouth County, and therefore I'm responsible for a large part of the election process. My function includes preparing all election ballots, processing vote-by-mail applications, and certifying election results. The other county election officials include the Superintendent of Elections, who oversees voter registration, voting machines, and party affiliation. The third office is the Board of Elections, and that office is responsible for polling locations, poll workers, drop boxes, and counting vote-by-mail ballots. In our country, as a citizen, voting is very important. It is one of the most important rights and responsibilities that we have as Americans. People who are over 18 vote when it is time to choose a new leader of the community or decide an important issue that will affect the community. When you vote, you get to have a say in who these leaders are and the decisions that are made. Many people think that their vote, just one vote, will not really matter, but I can tell you that it does. In Monmouth County, for example, elections often come down to just 1 or 2 votes that determine the winner. A few years ago, my office hosted an elections and voting video contest for high school students to explain to their peers why it is important to get out and vote. Take a look at our 2018 second place winning video, which explains how young people have historically been underrepresented at the polls.
Ever since 18-year-olds were given the right to vote in 1972, youth have been underrepresented at the polls. Approximately 50% of eligible young people, about 24 million youth, ages 18 to 29, voted in the 2016 general election. Every state has different rules. For example, my state of New Jersey requires registrants to live in the state for at least 30 days before registering to vote. You can easily look up your state's voting rules at vote.gov and register today. A variety of organizations work to encourage young people to vote. Rock the Vote, a platform used by grassroots campaigns, by 2018 had registered over 7 million votes and gained over 350 partners directing people to its online registration tool. Vote today. Your voice matters.
I'd like to talk to you now about the process of voting in New Jersey. To begin the voting process, we must know who can vote in the state of New Jersey. To vote, you must be 18 years old, a resident of the county for 30 days, a U.S. citizen, and register to vote in the county you wish to vote in. A few years ago, a new law was passed in New Jersey allowing 17-year-olds to register to vote. You cannot vote at 17, but you will be eligible to vote once you turn 18. The deadline to register to vote in New Jersey is 21 days before an election. Registering to vote in New Jersey is easy and can be done in 2 ways: by submitting the voter registration form to the Superintendent of Elections, or by registering online through the State Division of Elections website. Both the form and the online voter registration link can be found on my elections website, monmouthcountyvotes.com, and my Monmouth Votes mobile app. Your driver's license number or social security number is required when registering to vote in New Jersey. However, registering with a political party is not required. Many students register to vote when they apply for their driver's license at their local motor vehicle commission. Once you have registered, you are allowed to vote in all elections within your local election district. There are 2 ways to vote in New Jersey. You can vote in person on Election Day at your polling location or by mail. When you vote in person, you must vote at the location designated in your geographic area. You cannot just go anywhere you choose. That location is called a polling location or a voter precinct. You can find your precinct number on your sample ballot, which my office sends out prior to an election. When you arrive at your polling place, you will see individuals sitting at tables who are called poll workers. They assist with the voting process and will ask for your full name. The registered voters for the precinct are listed in what's called a poll book, and you must sign the book before you vote on a voting machine. After you have signed the poll book, you will be directed to a polling machine to vote. These are the machines currently used in Monmouth County. When you are at your polling place on Election Day, there will be a curtain outside the machine that you will close behind you when you enter, ensuring that your vote is secret. All you do is press the buttons next to the corresponding candidates of your choice and then click the Cast Vote button at the bottom of the machine. If for whatever reason your name is not in the poll book, you will not be turned away. You will be given what is called a paper provisional ballot, and you can cast your vote on paper to be verified and counted at a later time. The other way to vote in New Jersey is by mail. Voting by mail provides a simple and convenient way to vote early. In order to do so, you must submit an application with your original signature. To obtain an application, you can pick up one from our elections office at 300 Halls Mill Road in Freehold, or download the application from my website, monmouthcountyvotes.com. The deadline to request an application by mail is 7 days prior to the election, but you can request an application in person up until the day before the election at 3 p.m. You can elect to receive a vote by mail ballot for one election or for all future elections until you opt out in writing to the county clerk. After you return the application to the county clerk's office, you will receive a ballot in the mail. To complete the ballot, you must fill in the small circle next to the candidate of your choice. It's best to fill in the entire circle with a black or blue pen, as these ballots are scanned by machine. Do not use a marker or pencil. Ballots can be returned by hand to one of the county's drop-box locations or by hand delivery to the Board of Elections office in Freehold prior to close of the polls on Election Day. Ballots returned by mail must be postmarked by Election Day and received by the Board of Elections for counting within 6 days after close of the polls. And beginning in the general election for 2021, New Jersey will have early, in-person voting on voting machines beginning 10 days prior to the election. All of the information about voting and elections in Monmouth County can be found on my elections website, monmouthcountyvotes.com. On this website, you can find all of the important election forms, election deadlines, your polling place, and much more. In addition, I've created a mobile app called Monmouth Votes, so elections information can be available at your fingertips. The app features push notifications to remind you of the important election deadlines, allows you to map out where your polling place is, and has easy-to-use menu interface with all election information. Monmouth Votes is available for free download in the Apple app and Google Play stores. I hope my overview of the elections process has been informative and has encouraged you to become engaged in voting when you were old enough to do so. I would like to leave you with our first place video from the 2018 election voting and video contest. Thank you for watching and listening.
It's time to think about
education,
civil rights,
international relations,
healthcare,
religious beliefs and equality.
The future of our world rests in your hands.
In our hands.
In my hands.
In the hands of a future teacher.
In the hands of a future doctor.
In the hands of an entire nation.
Whether you're voting for
the school board,
city council, or
the President of the United States,
my vote matters.
Our votes matter.
We will help set the course of our nation.
Today, tomorrow,
and for years to come.
Make sure you
vote.
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 Vote.